Good afternoon. This is Dave Nadler with the National Weather Service in Peachtree City with your routine weekly briefing. It is Thursday, February 11th, 2021. Here are the main highlights. Looking ahead to the next week across north and central Georgia, we are expecting a fairly active weather pattern with multiple storm systems expected to affect the area pretty much every other day into the middle to end of next week. Temperatures are expected to be seasonal, a little bit cooler than what we've seen over the last couple of days. We aren't expecting any major Arctic cold outbreak or extreme unseasonably warm up over the next few days. So temperatures are generally not going to fluctuate a whole lot over the next 6 to 7 days, and we'll go through that here in just a minute. Heavy rain and flooding with the multiple systems that are expected to move across the area are going to be the primary concern, especially depending on how much rain we get from one event to another. The accumulation over the same areas could lead to some flooding concerns and potentially even some localized flash flooding. So we'll be keeping an eye on that through the weekend into early next week. The severe potential remains low overall through the week. However, as each system moves across the area, we will have to monitor for localized threats, storm threats, as each system moves through. So keep that in mind. Again, we're not expecting any major severe weather outbreak, but each system could produce some localized severe weather or stronger storms, especially across the central part of Georgia. No impact winter weather is expected at this time. However, continue to monitor the forecast each day through the weekend, as this could change quickly. Okay, so here's the weather pattern into next week. What we've been seeing, and this is going to be a persistent pattern basically over the next 5 to 7 days, is a big drop in the jet stream down into South Texas. That's going to send very cold air from the Arctic Canadian region far south into the deep south. However, because of these ridge of high pressure off the east coast of Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina, this is going to help to deflect a lot of this cold air to the north and west of the state through the weekend and into early next week. So the track of these low pressure systems are going to remain north and west of us, which will keep us, relatively speaking, on the warm side of each of these systems at this point. So that is why the winter potential, any threat for snow or ice, is looking pretty low at this point compared to what it looked like a few days ago. And the severe threat, we're not expecting any organized severe weather with each of these systems into the middle of next week. But like I mentioned earlier, we'll need to watch that from one event to the next for localized threats and concerns. So heavy rain, multiple rounds of rain over the same areas through the weekend and into next week could continue to elevate the flood potential for some areas, and that's going to be our primary concern as we head to over the next 5 to 7 days across north and central Georgia. Here's the latest conditions across the area. We're generally running in the 50s, North Georgia, down into the low to mid 60s, near 70 across parts of central Georgia, with showers and a few storms have been moving across the area, generally along and north of I-85. These showers and embedded storms will continue to track to the east, northeast across the area through the remainder of the afternoon into the evening. We are not expecting any organized severe weather out of this, although a few stronger storms on the southern end of this precip shield could develop through the afternoon into the evening hours. But again, we're not expecting any major concerns. There could be some very isolated pockets of wind damage occurring. Again, mainly south of a LaGrange to Macon to a Sandersville line through the afternoon into the evening hours. But otherwise, most areas are just going to see some on and off rain showers through the afternoon into the evening hours, and then this system should move out tonight into early Friday morning. So the timing of these storm systems, as I've been talking about these multiple events moving across the area, roughly speaking, at this point we are expecting after this system moves through later today into tonight, we should see a little bit of a break tomorrow on Friday before another system develops, overspreading rain back across the area Saturday into early Sunday. This event It shouldn't be a big washout or anything like that, but again, that's our next chance to see any sort of measurable precipitation Saturday into Sunday. Again, the whole weekend shouldn't be a washout, but that's the first in a series of multiple systems moving across the area. We do expect another storm system, more organized storm system, to move across the area Monday into Tuesday, and you can see the pink shaded areas is where we expect, or where the models are expecting, the frozen precipitation to occur, mainly in the form of freezing rain. And then to the north and west of that area, you see the blue shaded area, which is where the models are depicting snowfall. So generally speaking, where the colder, deeper, colder air is far across Tennessee and parts of northwest Alabama, Kentucky, and then points north and west of there, that's where we expect a winter threat. And right now, it's looking like most of Georgia is going to be in the warm area, warm sector. So with Monday and Tuesday system, we're expecting mainly rain and the possibility of even a few thunderstorms across the area. Then following this event, as we head into the middle to end of next week, Thursday, Friday, another storm system is expected to ride across the area. This one again keeping us in the warm sector, where primarily we're talking about the threat for rain, showers and thunderstorms basically, with the winter threat remaining well north and west of the forecast area with this system. But again, this system that's expected to affect the area by next Thursday and Friday is still 6 to 7 days out. So a lot could change and a lot will change between now and then. But we have pretty good confidence in this weekend system, and even into early next week, that the threat for any winter weather is pretty low at this point. But continue to monitor the latest forecasts, as things will certainly change over the next couple of days. Temperatures for tonight and Friday, overnight lows are expected to be fairly mild across much of the area. On the upper left-hand side of the screen, we're expecting lows generally in the 40s and 50s, which is definitely above normal for this time of year. High temperatures on Friday, a little bit cooler across northeast and east central Georgia, where we could see a little bit of what we call a wedge influence, as temperatures may struggle to get out of the upper 40s and 50s. But otherwise, south of that, if you head down towards Columbus, Macon, along I-16, it should be back up into the 60s to lower 70s for tomorrow. Looking into Friday night and Saturday, it should be a little bit cooler. Low temperatures getting into the upper 30s across the higher elevations, 40s and low 50s elsewhere. On Saturday, again, we have some precipitation moving back in, so temperatures will struggle to get out of the 40s and lower to mid 50s across much of the area. So it looks like a cool, wet day on Saturday for much of the area. Saturday night into Sunday, it cools off a little bit more. Precipitation should be moving out of the area, with lows dropping into the 30s and low to mid 40s across much of the area, and then high temperatures on Sunday, generally in the ranging from the mid to upper 40s to the lower to mid 50s across the far southern areas of our forecast area. Sunday night into Monday, low temperatures back down into the 30s, generally along and west of I-85, north of I-20, with 40s elsewhere. And then high temperatures on Monday heading into early next week ahead of that next system should generally be, at this point, we're looking at upper 40s down to the mid 50s to near 60 across our far southern counties in central Georgia. So again, nothing screams that we're going to be looking at any sort of significant winter weather with these types of temperatures as we head through the weekend and into the first part of next week. Now, rainfall, I mentioned that rain is going to be a primary concern, which could lead to some flooding over the next few days, and especially as we head into the middle of next week. This is what the 7-day rain total is expected at this time, generally from 2 to 4 inches across just about the entire area and entire state, with locally higher amounts expected. So this is the latest 7-day forecast from the Weather Prediction Center. This is subject to change, certainly, as forecasts are updated multiple times each day. So stay tuned to that. But this is our sort of best look at seeing widespread rainfall over the next 7 days. Not every day, but definitely through those multiple rounds of those multiple storm systems moving across the area will produce anywhere from a half inch to an inch, or even upwards of 2 inches of rain, especially with the early week system and in the middle to end of the week next week storm system. So in summary, we're looking again for a pretty active weather pattern through next week, multiple systems affecting the area. beginning today, tonight, and then continuing into the middle to end of next week. Temperatures are expected to be seasonal. We're not expecting any extremes of cold air or warm air through the week. Heavy rain and flooding are going to be the primary concern at this time as those multiple storm systems track across the area, with the rain piling up with each system. Severe potential remains low overall across the area, so no organized severe threat across the area through next week. However, we'll have to monitor each system for localized storm threats into early to middle part of next week. And given that we remain at this point, the models have been trending warmer across the area, so we sort of remain in this relative warmer air mass through the middle of next week. We're not really looking at any significant impact winter weather across any part of north and central Georgia at this time, but please continue to monitor the forecast each day through the weekend, as this can certainly change over the next few days. You can connect with us through phone, through our briefing page to collect over the next 24 hours to see the graphics from this briefing. Our webpage, weather.gov/Atlanta or /FFC, you can get the latest forecasts, and of course you can follow us on social media. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and I hope you have a great rest of the day and a great weekend.